put my guns in the ground. I can't shoot them anymore. That cold black cloud is coming down. Feels like I'm knocking on Seven's door. Hey, 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 hey. Knocking on Seven's door.
Hey,
guitar,
hey.
Get the guitar out.
Hey,
Hey. Knocking on season 2 Seven's door. Hey. Knocking on season 2 episode 7's door.
He's still going, ladies and gentlemen. He's still going. Way!
Hey.
I didn't know where you were going with that. I thought you'd done another co-pilot poem then at the start. I didn't click that was a Guns N' Roses song. But very good. Although I do feel you lacked conviction. As you started to do that, you started to think, what am I doing? I could almost see the seeds of doubt.
I do that every episode. Every episode I start going, what am I doing?
There was definitely an element of started singing this now. What am I going to do? But
there's a bit of pressure as well with episodes. So I had a look back. So episode 7, season 1, is our most popular episode ever.
Wow!
But we've had about 400 listeners on that one episode.
Oh, very
episode
good.
7, season 1.
Is that the Cornish Knockers one?
No, actually, that used to be number 1. No, episode 7 was "Baby, You're All That I Want."
2023. So, should I read the description for people?
Yeah, sure. And we had, I think it was VR we looked at as well, didn't we? PlayStation VR.
So good. I could just talk about VR all the time. It's still incredible.
But that's called "Baby, You're All." That's what I mean. So it's called "Baby, You're All That I Want." Because that song, "Baby, You're All That I Want."
Yeah.
7.
Gotcha. I'll have to go back and listen back. See if it's good.
So we've matured and got better since that episode.
Have we?
So that's I struggled with the intro tune, but I thought I'd stick to the Heaven 7.
Very good. It's a good rhyme, William. It was a cracking segue into the start of the show.
It was.
If anybody wants to go back and listen to Baby You're All I Want, it says here, join us at the bottom of the garden for a first look at Becoming a Parent, Virtual Reality, the PlayStation VR 2, First Look Gnome's Instagram account. Please subscribe, leave a 5-star review, follow, like, and share this podcast to show your support for more episodes. Help grow the show.
But that was the early days. That was the early days. So yeah, literally Logan was just born. So so I think we had a mid-season. We must have had a mid-season break. We had 6 episodes. And then Logan was born.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's amazing how time flies. We were just discussing this off-air, listeners, before we started recording, and looking back at the fact that we started this back in 2022. We're now in 2024. It's a bit mad that we're still doing this, really. But it's as ever, it's an excuse to get together and have some beers. And as other parents,
Talking of beers, it's time for the 51st.
Way! What we got this week, Miles?
I couldn't wait any longer. We've got... Oh, it's really cold as well. Good fridge. We've got a BrewDog arcade made today.
Ooh, describe that tin to the listeners, because that's a good tin.
It's like an old arcade Tetris... No, Space Invaders. Space Invaders can... Okay, mate, it's a double dry hopped DIPA, and it's 8%.
What is it with these? Why are you drinking such strong beers, William? You know you can't.
I mean, compared to previous ones, it's not strong. Well, actually, it is.
Compared to last week's one or the one before with the pibble
store
one.
Cold, drink fresh. It's a coin operated beer.
He's looking at it very lovingly, viewers. Like he's looking at this can of beer the same way he looks at his child.
When I was,
or is that just because you're blind and can't read the words?
No, because my brain goes off in tangents, as you probably realise. But I was just thinking of coin operated. So it says coin operated beer, which made me think about the old arcade machines that are coin operated.
Yeah.
And our kids, are they going to be a generation of no coins that have these arcade machines without coins and things?
Who knows?
That's the way my brain goes.
Well, I mean, it depends if they go to a retro arcade where they have to use coins or whether it's all just contactless payment, but only time will tell, Williams.
But is a retro arcade what we used to play, or is a retro arcade what our parents used to play?
I imagine it's what both us and our parents used to play. I remember going to
It's
arcade.
very orange. It looks like fizzy orange. Can you see it?
It's luminous. It's luminous.
That's like a pure orange juice. The bubbles.
Yeah, is it a fruity IPA?
Doesn't taste fruity.
It's just very orange. It's got a tan.
Is it? Am I allowed to drink it? Is it safe?
You just drink it well. See what happens.
Well, not if it's meant to be like a clear drink.
I'm sure it's been in your fridge. I'm sure it's absolutely fine. You see plenty of these coloured beers, Williams.
There's no date on it. Oh my gosh, what have I got?
He's concerned here, ladies and gentlemen. He's concerned. He's concerned about the beer being the colour of beer.
There's a load of Japanese on there.
Okay. How do you know it's Japanese? Do you read Japanese?
That's a very good point, actually. That is a very good point. I shouldn't presume it's Japanese. Just because I can't understand it doesn't mean it's Japanese.
Could also be Spanish.
And there's no English on it. Actually, where does this come from?
Who knows, Wells? But I think you should stop worrying. Yeah, worry less, drink more.
Worry less, drink more. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's a coin-operated beer. Cheers.
So tell us how this coin-operated beer tastes.
Bubbles.
Bubbles
with a slight tang in the back of the mouth. That's it, really.
You don't look very impressed.
Nah, it's all right. If you want to get drunk, drink those beers.
He looks very underwhelmed, listeners. Considering how happy he was looking at the can, he has gone from being excited to pondering about our child's use of arcades to maybe being a bit miserable. He's in a funny mood, listeners.
I'm one of those beer purchases where I'll go into a shop and I pick out the most colourful cans. The prettiest one. Basically, I judge a book by its cover, to be honest.
Well, we can certainly say that's a nice cover. Like, it's a beautiful looking can.
Yeah, beautiful.
Anyways,
I've got my beer.
Beer.
I've got my beer. I've got my fishing rod.
Okay, grab it.
I've got my tackle.
You got your tackle. Is it still a worm?
It's no, it's changed to a fly.
A fly. Okay.
Yeah.
Apply your fly, Williams.
So I've applied the fly. What do you call a fly without wings?
I don't know. What do you call a fly without wings?
A walk.
Idiot.
It's the fish panda feedback.
Hey! Fish panda
We've got Mr. Hodgkiss. I know we don't quite have the heavy heights of listeners as episode 7, season 1.
Okay.
But maybe we'll episode 7, season 2. Who knows?
Who knows? With content where we debate beers and arcade machines for our kids, who knows?
I might need to edit this intro quite a lot. But anyways, we've got new listeners in Fulham.
Fulham? Still not Africa?
No listeners in Africa. No Africa. No.
We'll take Fulham, We'll take Fulham.
Fulham. Milton Keynes.
MK Dons, nice.
Milton Keynes. How would you explain Milton Keynes to a American listeners, say?
Milton Keynes, it's a series of roundabouts, and just it feels like a big housing estate with an ice hockey team and a football team that they stole from somewhere else. It's kind of like a big housing estate that's now a town of all of its own. But like I've always enjoyed going to Milton Keynes. I think it's a nice place, but it's just a bit different to. Because it's more modern, isn't it? It's a newer kind of city.
New listeners from Barking. New listeners from Brampton, Ontario. New listeners from Omaha, Nebraska.
Wow, Nebraska! That's awesome.
Where's Nebraska? That's
Nebraska. It's kind of it's on the southern belt of America, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, welcome, new listeners from Omaha.
So, it's kind of not. No, you know what? I'm completely wrong. What am I thinking of? Nebraska's Central America. It's like Kansas and Colorado and Nebraska in the middle. I'm thinking of Nashville. I was getting confused with Nashville. I always think of the music. And so Nebraska's Central America.
But no listeners in Africa.
Oh, well,
we've got some messages. One message from an anonymous learner says, quite humbling.
Sorry?
Anonymous.
Sorry, what? Where?
Anonymous.
Anonymous listener.
Anonymous listener. Anonymous. Says, quite humbling to hear two dads being so hands-on with their kids.
Oh, well, you have to be. It's 2024, but thank you for the feedback.
Top listener Sue messaged in.
Yes, Sue. What about?
One word, though. One word.
Uh-oh. A good word or a bad word?
Really? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
In reference to what, do you think?
Peeling a banana.
Oh, no, well, that's fair. That is absolutely fair. Absolutely, 100% fair. I would agree, really.
Yeah.
And you let him marry your daughter, Sue.
Yeah, too late, Sue. Too late. Sorry. Another listener message in asking, have you ever tried archery blindfolded? You don't know what you're missing.
Did you message in the show yourself, Williams? Is that one you've sent in yourself? Oh
dear.
Great joke.
Lovely. So, should I attempt I haven't really got a first.
You haven't got a first?
I've got some random firsts. I've got some random tiny firsts, if you want me to just crack on to some of those.
You got some random tiny firsts? Okay, well, that sounds good enough to me, Wells.
Yeah. So I had a first look at Fallout, the new series Fallout.
Very good, based on the video game.
So it's an American post-apocalyptic drama TV series on Amazon Prime, and it's based on a role-playing video game. Do kids call them video games still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they just refer to them as kind of the console. Like, I'm going to go and play a PlayStation. I'm going to play PlayStation or Xbox. I don't really say I'm playing a video game.
I've not played any Fallout game. I've not played any games for a while, but it's based on the games, and I thought it was quite good. So
it had very good reviews.
It gets a gnome cheek out of 10 or whatever our scoring system is.
So what would you give it out of 10?
It's very good. Out of 10? Oh, good 8, I'd say.
Enjoyable? Funny?
Yeah, enjoyable. A few laughs. Good animation, graphics. Yeah, good. Could have been better, but it was good.
What would you have done to make it better, Williams?
Oh, I don't know.
You say things like could have been better. If I was in charge, I'd have done this, that, and the other.
Don't know. Just a little bit more on the not the storyline, but just the depth of the characters.
Yeah,
there's a bit of mystery there, but I just feel like there could have been a bit more depth. But it was good.
It's interesting these days because if you remember back in the good old days, Williams, I say the good old days, there weren't.
Definitely cost a lot of money to make, you can tell. But a lot of TV shows do now. The budget movie budget,
yeah. It's so like when we were younger, anything based off any TV or movie based on a video game was generally guaranteed to be shit. So think like Street Fighter, Tomb Raider. No, I actually quite like the Tomb Raider films, to be fair. But like
Super Mario Brothers,
Mortal Kombat, the original Super Mario Brothers, they were all just a bit crap. Whereas now it's kind of completely unless you turn the corner. You got things like Fallout, you got The Last of Us, and there's just a lot of good video game to TV.
Well, the games tend to have loads of budget in the well, they have a load of budget themselves, but budget on the storylines and things. So rather than just when we were kids, it was collect as many coins as you can.
I haven't got time to sink 60, 70 hours into a game like I used to have. It's like, I'll play Tetris because I've got 15 minutes until somebody needs me to do something.
Yeah. Georgie gets annoyed at me because I get future tired.
Future tired?
Future tired. I always get future tired.
Tell us about future tired.
Well, future tired. So I don't get tired. I don't get tired because of what I've done in the day.
Yeah.
I get tired because of what's going to happen the next day.
That makes a lot of sense, though, because you know the next day you've got to get up and you've got to go to work and you've got to actually function like a human being.
I get tired before anything's actually happened, though.
Okay, so that's preparation. That's psychological preparation. That you know that your responsibilities are important. Ergo, subconsciously, you're thinking, I better make sure I get enough sleep. That's very wise, Williams. The know it or know will be very proud of you there.
Thank you.
That shows true self-awareness.
Try it. Other little first looks. We had a first look at Charles Leclerc won the Monaco Grand Prix today. For any F1 watchers out there,
there was a big smash, wasn't there? I saw a meme of like a can of Red Bull being crushed.
Lap one, Perez. His car didn't look like a car anymore. Like a crash can. We saw the first look at.
Drum roll, please. Who is the unified champion of the world, Williams?
The champion of the world, for those that only get their boxing news from a podcast, is. I forget his first name. What's his first name?
Alexander
Usyk.
We are big fans. We forget the unified champions first. Huge boxing fans here.
Don't forget to click follow, like, subscribe to get all your boxing news from First Look Names. Keep up to date.
Somebody punched somebody in the face. It were great.
But although I heard he's not anymore because some other challenger won the belts. Because they were mandatory, so they haven't had the fight, so he's lost it already.
So basically he's going to get
for a short space of time.
He's going to get there's 4 belts. Even though there's only currently one undisputed heavyweight champion, he carries 4 belts for the 4 different associations. So there's the IBF, the WBO, the WBA, and the WBC. The IBF are going to strip him of his belt because not necessarily. If he fights the IBF mandatory challenger, which is going to be decided between a fight between Daniel Dubois and Hrgovic, if memory serves correct. They get to fight the IBF for the IBF belt. So if Usyk was to fight one of those straight away, he wouldn't lose the belt. But then you can guarantee he'll lose one of the other belts because the WBC have their own mandatory challenger, the WBO have their own mandatory challenger, and the WBA have their own mandatory challenger. So
those belts to try to keep. But you can't fight constantly, can you? So
of course you can't. No, you can't please everybody, and that's why unified is such a big thing because there's 4 different boards all with their own heavyweight champion belt, and historically the WBC has been the most prestigious belt to own. The IBF has probably been the least prestigious belt to own, but it's still it's still something. So the whole politics of it is a bit of a mess, but it was great to see the fight, and it was a good fight as well.
I didn't watch it.
It was enjoyable. You didn't watch it?
No.
It was really good. It was very entertaining.
I got future tired.
You got future tired. It didn't start till it was quite late when it started. I must be honest. It was approaching midnight by the time it all got going. But yeah, it was good and well done to Usyk. I mean, fair play to him.
First looks, Craig.
Yes, I've got one that I'm going to tell you about, and then we can play a little game, Williams, to see which one we want to do. Now, you've already done you may have already touched on one or two of them, but my main first look this week is a first look at the new Girls Aloud tour. So you may already know I was going to talk about this because I think I sent you some pictures of the week.
I forgot, yeah.
You'd forgotten?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, the girl group Girls Aloud are on tour. And me and the good wife went to the SSC Arena in Belfast on Tuesday to watch them. So, Girls Aloud. So, I'll give you, because obviously we have a lot of people, as you say, in the likes of Nebraska listening now, who will not know who Girls Aloud are. So in the United Kingdom, we'll take you back in time, Williams, back in time. The year is 2002.
2002, gosh.
Reality TV is in its absolute pomp and heyday. There are new reality TV series popping up all over the place. We had Pop Idol, which was the same as American Idol, and then there's a few other ones, wasn't there? There was Pop Stars, there was Pop Idol, there was what was the House one? There was the
House one.
Is the BBC did one? It was had Lamar and it was like something House.
Oh, I don't know.
It was even before X Factor. So the year's 2002, and there's one of these music shows, and it's called Pop Stars, but it's Pop Stars The Rivals. So Pop Stars had originally been there to create a band, a manufactured band, and The Rivals was going to create two bands, a girl band and a boy band.
Who was the boy band?
They were called...
It wasn't JLS, was it?
No, it wasn't JLS. Oh, my goodness. There are people shouting at things now. One True Voice, wasn't it?
One True Voice.
One True Voice. And they had a big thing. So they had the boy band and the girl band. And they obviously thousands upon
Christmas
thousands.
One, wasn't it?
It was for the Christmas number one. Thousands upon thousands of people auditioned. They ended up with 5 people in each band. I remember Girls Aloud was full of controversy because some people didn't want Nicola in the band and blah, blah, blah. But it came down to the two bands. Then they both released their first single at the same time to see who would win. And Girls Aloud won. So Girls Aloud released The Sound of the Underground, which got to number 1. And One True Voice's first single got to number 2. Girls Aloud went on to be massively popular. One True Voice disappeared into the Woolworth charity single bin where you could buy a single for 50p. But Girls Aloud they're a manufactured TV band, but they did fantastically well. So I've got some facts for you here, Williams.
Facts.
So I am a fan. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I think they are pop perfection. So they've just celebrated their 22 years. They've got back together and they're doing a tour again. So would you hear this, Williams? Between 2002 and I think it was 2013, they had 21 hit singles. They had 5 albums. 2 compilation albums, sold over 4.3 million records. They have famous fans, including Bono, Chris Martin, Alex Turner, and of course the First Look Gnomes. They're just a group of pop perfection. So 5 quite normal ladies making good pop music. Unfortunately, a couple of years ago, one of the members actually passed away she wasn't well and she passed away. So this tour has been about remembering her and kind of celebrating her. And I've always liked them. So it was one of those gigs where I said to the wife, I was like, is it a bit embarrassing? And we're like, yeah, it probably is. But it's playing in an arena. And we always we like going to gigs, but generally we'd go to gigs with a band or someone kind of, a nostalgia. Like we've been to see Lionel Richie and stuff and Billy Joel, but usually we go and see bands like The Killers or Arctic Monkeys. So it's a pop concert. And I was trying to think, I can't remember the last time I actually went to a pop concert. So we bought the tickets. Tickets were very reasonably priced. And we thought, let's toddle on down. It's only a mile away from where we live. Let's toddle on down. Yeah. Girls Aloud. They played all the hits, obviously. They did some really nice kind of in memory of Sarah Harding bits of the show. And we just had a lovely night. It was great. So they're on tour now around the whole of the UK. For the next month or 2. So anyone listening to this who's thinking, you know what, should I go? It's just fun. The stages were good. The whole costume changes were good. They can sing quite well because they all got picked because they could sing and dance. They're not gonna test Whitney Houston in terms of the vocal ability, but no, great pop music. So if you've never heard of them, check them out. Called Girls Aloud. And if you're in the UK...
Did they make it to America, did they? Or?
No.
It's a UK thing. Yeah.
Just a UK thing. But if you like good pop music...
Just having a quick look at One True Voice.
What's happened to them then?
Where are they now? And I couldn't see much, but one of them, Keith Semple, who's from Northern Ireland. He's been in several bands since One True Voice split. He moved to Chicago.
Wow.
And he landed the spot as Seventh Heaven's frontman. And then later in 2010, he auditioned for American Idol, but he didn't get very far, as Simon Cowell didn't like him.
Okay.
And then he appeared on the US version of The Voice. But again, he was eliminated. So,
you kind of think you've got to give it up on that, haven't you? I'd never give up on your dreams, I guess, but...
And Jamie Shaw, in 2006, he supported Backstreet Boys on tour.
Very good.
And that's it. The other ones have just
The other ones have just gone and got normal jobs, probably.
Yeah.
They'll always have Pop Stars Rivals in 2002. And they'll always know that they weren't quite as good as Girls Aloud. Girls Aloud are amazing. Go and see Girls Aloud. Girls Aloud, yeah!
I wonder how they feel about hearing Girls Aloud on the radio and the new tour. And
yeah, there's probably an element of bitterness, I would imagine.
Tips for dads. Tips for dads. Tips for dads.
Tips for dads.
Get your tips out for the dads.
So I've got 3 tips here for dads. Have you got any tips for dads?
I haven't got any tips.
You got no tips for the dads?
I do actually. I've got be future tired.
Be future tired.
Be future tired.
So it's almost like be prepared, isn't it? Be prepared for work and life and resilience. Get enough sleep.
Yeah, get your tired out of the way early before it actually happens.
Okay. Well, I've got a tip for lazy dads. Lazy dads who kind of want to be in there. So this is terrible advice, actually. This is a terrible tip for dads.
I've just thought one, actually. Go on.
Oh, go on. Go ahead, then.
Well, I saw this thing on one of the socials. If you sat down, you've got your beer and all that, and you've got your little toddler crawling around. But your remote control is just out of arm's reach. You can't really get to it.
Yeah.
You just pick up your toddler that's next to you. And you move him across, and then the toddler grabs the remote control, and you pull back when you've got the remote control.
Very good. But I mean, that still seems like a lot of effort. You could just get one like, you know, the rubbish.
Well, it saves getting up though, doesn't it?
It does save getting up. No, absolutely. But as you're getting older, you got to be careful of your back. If you lean across and you hold the weight of your toddler, and you've got to support him, you could just get a grabber, the rubbish grabber, you know. Or you could activate the voice control on your telly. Most of these modern TVs these days,
good tip, yeah.
And say, "Oi, telly, up!
Yeah.
Telly, quick, turn off that channel. She's coming down the stairs. Turn it off, turn it off, quick!
Alexa, Alexa!"
Don't pause and zoom, Alexa. Okay, so either use your child a grabber, or use your TV's voice command with caution. Good tips for that. Another good tip for that would be don't watch dodgy channels when you're a husband, loving father, all those kind of things as well. If they're on your TV, they shouldn't be. Be better, people. So, okay, I've got a couple here then. The first one is about, so we have experienced, my child is a bit older, and it's lovely, but also they talk such nonsense all the time. So this tip is called Master the Art of Selective Hearing. So this is about kids who want to talk to you all the time. So Brain would be like, Dad, I want to show you. Brain wants to show you everything and get you involved in everything. So Braden will do a sneeze. He wants to show you a sneeze. He will make a noise. Dad, I want to show you this noise. Every single picture he draws, he has to present it to you. Now, this is fine, but sometimes he will do 78 pictures in a day. And every thought has to be explained to you. So this is about noises that you have to make as a dad, noises you have to perfect as a dad, because you do not want to break the young child's spirit. Of course, you want to be an interested dad, but also you've got one eye on the playoff final, and you're trying to decide are Leeds going to get back into this or not. But you can't just kind of dismiss your child. So you have to. These are the noises I would suggest for dads. They make.
Tips for dads. Noises to make.
Ooh, you got to prevent that. Ooh. And that. Ooh, that's good. Ooh. And my favourite of all the tips to master as voices: show your mother. Show your mother.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Show your mother. Ooh, your mum's in the kitchen. She'd like to see that. Oh, show your mother. Another one. If your mother's not in the house, another one. FaceTime grandma. Do you want to FaceTime grandma and say grandma? Grandma would love to see that. Here, take.
What if you got a portal?
Oh no,
you're watching something on the TV already.
If you're already watching the Southampton Leeds match, you've got to, selective hearing, not to dismiss your child, but also 76 pictures of a
tips there.
76 pictures of a Minecraft zombies, just too much. I've got one final tip for dads. So I'm sure many dads listening to this will appreciate trying to get people out of the house it's difficult. So before I was married, I was never late. I was always generally on time. But now it's very hard. So I have mastered the art of the countdown timer. So if you need to leave the house at 2:00, at 20 to 2, you better be laying down the law saying we are going in 7 minutes. We are going in 6 minutes, 5 minutes. And make it early, because you know it's never going to be on time. So if you're leaving if you need to leave at 2, you need to get them. You need to tell them we've got to leave at 10 to 2. They can guarantee they'll not be ready at 10 to 2, so you've got that little bit of time. So at 20 to 2, you need to be telling them we've got 7 minutes left, because inevitably, so with ours, it seems to be as soon as you're ready to go, somebody needs to do a wee, or they need to collect a toy, or they want to bring something to show somebody else, or something, or the dog will do a poo on the floor that you've got to pick up, or just something will happen. So time management, master the countdown timer, and always leave 10 minutes. That's pretty much it. Tips.
Who needs to know or know when you've got tips for dads?
Well, this is dad experience. Yeah, they know what we're known full of wisdom. We're just full of practical tips for dads.
Lovely tips.
Any more first looks?
I've got, again, just little ones. Well, actually, no, this one's quite a big one. Not a big one, but we had. So in my little town, a friend of ours actually said was mentioned at a conference they went to.
Outrageous. I'm surprised you didn't snap. You were very.
But it was for some reason it was a conference of solicitors, which is a random conference to go to. But they weren't very nice about my town. Anyways,
they've obviously never been. It's a lovely place.
But I've obviously been away, but I've lived here most of my life, and I know most corners of my town. But we had a picnic in a random field when our car broke down. So it broke down on a bypass. I've passed this field God knows how many times since I was a wee young lad to present day. But I've actually had my first look of in that field. Having a picnic because the car broke down, so we had to obviously pull over and wait for the old RAC man, and we sat in this random field that I've passed a million times but never had a look at and had a first look at. So and a little bit panicky when you've got a 1-year-old and you're sat in a field wondering when the snacks are run out, but we survived to tell the tale. So just a quick little first look of a random field.
I mean, two things spring to mind there. Well, one, how lovely that to turn that to show that resilience, and we may get onto some resilience in a bit, but show that resilience. Saying, what, the car's broken down. We're going to make the best of a bad situation. Have a little.
It was the sun was shining. We had some snacks. So we
excellent resilience.
And 1-year-olds love pebbles. There was pebbles and stones and dirt, and they love picking up stones and rocks and moving it and dropping it, and then moving it and dropping it. So yeah, loads of fun. But
kids don't need much, do they?
They don't actually. They don't.
They really don't.
All these presents kids get, but actually a bit of dirt, some rocks, water. He loves water. That's all you need. So that was a little first look at a random field I've never been to.
You understand that? It's just a random field. That's the story's so much more than the random field, though, Williams. You haven't even got the name of this field or anything, but that's not the story. The story
I don't even know. That's the mystery of it. That's the mystery of it.
Mystery field.
I bet you near you there's a field that you walk by every day, and you've never sat there, had a picnic, have you?
There's probably more than one.
No, you should do that. Tomorrow, Bank Holiday Monday, you're not working. Well, hopefully not. Go out, find a field, have a picnic.
I will do that, Williams. I will do that.
Actually don't, because we had an excuse of a broken down car, as you'll just be trespassing, so don't do that,
actually. Good point, well made. Another tip for Dad.
Some farmer with a shotgun. What are you doing in my land?
Don't steal my potatoes. They're mine.
Yeah. So don't do that. That's a non-tip for dads. And then also, because just a little first look, we had a first look at potentially a new Lord of the Rings film.
Oh, yes, I've heard about this.
The Hunt for Gollum. 2026, apparently. It's going to be... Gandalf made a brief comment about hunting for Gollum between the year of X and Y. So there's going to be a whole film about that.
Very good.
So we shall see.
They can't let franchises just lie now, can they? They have to milk them for everything they're worth. Any kind of intellectual property, it's just like, yeah, okay, somebody once mentioned something, let's now make a film out of that, and how long can we stretch this for? And of course, people...
Big cash cow.
It is. Were you a Lord of the Rings fan?
Yeah. We went to see them at uni, didn't we?
I remember we watched them. I remember one day we had a Lord of the Rings day where we set up on, like, we had a settee of like 7 mattresses. So that's exciting. If you're a Lord of the Rings fan, that's going to be great.
Old, what's it called? Andy Serkis?
Yes, Andy Serkis, yeah.
He's doing it again. I don't know about Gandalf, though. I presume Gandalf would need to be involved, but I don't know how old he is now.
No, it couldn't be Ian McKellen. No. I suppose with de-aging it could be, but he's going to be in his 70s or 80s. He might not want to do it.
No. But
Andy Serkis is directing it, though, isn't he, as well?
Is he?
I think so. I could be wrong. I may be remembering that wrong, but
no, sorry. So yeah, so no first looks apart from a random field and a film that's not out yet.
Well, it could be worse. You could have been talking to us about peeling more fruit, which.
And this week I've peeled a potato.
Fruit. A potato that you stole from a field. But it was a lovely field and you had a lovely time and a lovely picnic.
What's your first look, Mr.
So in a similar way to you, I'm going to give you a roulette, Williams, because it feels like a long time since we've done this, and there's been a few good things.
Played Russian roulette? We've never played Russian roulette.
Not Russian roulette, just roulette. So I'm going to spin the wheel, so I'm sure we can insert some kind of clicky click 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 sound, and you've got a choice.
Oh no, the three of us did play Russian roulette, didn't we?
Well, did we?
It's a bad joke. The three of us played Russian roulette.
Okay, I beg your pardon. Sorry, yes, I'm sorry. William's slow on the uptake there. Very good though. Very clever. Well, this one's just a roulette, and you can pick. You get to pick which of these first looks we look at. So spin the wheel. Ready? Your options are the FA Cup Final 2024. Luke Littler and his Premier League dart. Fury versus Usyk and / Taylor versus Catterall, but we've already touched on that one, so maybe go past that. The England squad announcement for Euro 2024. Chat GPT 4.0. The Chelsea Flower Show. And, getting political, the upcoming general election in the United Kingdom. So spin the wheel. Which of these would you like to talk about?
That's not a random spin the wheel, though, is it? If I choose.
Well, yeah, you can get yeah, it's true.
Spin the wheel, but stop it where you want to.
FA Cup, Luke Littler, England, ChatGPT.
So not the boxing, because we spoke about that already.
Mm-hmm. I'd say not ChatGPT 4.0. As brilliant as it is, we do a lot of AI chat. So I'd say
let's go for Luke Littler, shall we?
Luke Littler, okay. So Luke the Nuke Littler, ladies and gentlemen. So for those who do not know, or those who do not watch darts, in 2023, 2024, the World Championships, he came in, he was 150 to 1 shot. He was a 16-year-old kid.
16.
But he had won the World Juniors, so he got a wildcard entry, and he went all the way to the final of the World Championship. He was phenomenal. He was whipping people, and he was living up to the hype, shall we say. But he came second. He came second to a guy called Luke Humphreys. But because he soared in popularity and he became the talking story, or the person everyone was talking about in darts, he got a wild card buy into the Premier League of darts, which is just included. Now, everyone expected him, like, no, he's 17. He's not going to do much. He's just there because he did so well at the Worlds. Not only did he top the league, but then when it came to the finals night, he won the bloody thing. Not only did he win it, but he also threw a 9-darter in the final and made it look so easy. The week before, he did an amazing thing where he hit three double 20s as a checkout to get 120 checkout. And he's just playing with such confidence, and he's a proper sensation. And like he's 17. He looks, if you ever listen to this, I don't mean this to sound offensive, but he looks a lot older than 17.
Yeah.
He looks more like a 30, 40-year-old man. He's got the physique of a man. He's got a full beard. Like, not many 17-year-olds have a beard. And he's got a receding hairline. And he play like,
because the World Championships, he'll still be 17.
Yeah, he'll still be 17 this year at the World Championship. Yeah. Unbelievable. He'll be favourite to win a load of things now.
Yeah.
But it's so incredible to think how darts has progressed from this pub sport to this, fine art of a game, effectively. We're talking, the prize money is, so to win the Worlds, it's £500,000. And then there's tournaments all through the year. And he's playing with this young kid has come on the scene. It's just what darts needed. So I have a friend in Canada who's convinced this has all been a setup because darts was getting stale and they needed a new character to come and take them.
How can you set up someone?
He thinks there's magnets in the boards. Now, I love this guy Vince, but he's a Donald Trump supporter, and conspiracies are the thing.
They take the magnets away every time the next player comes around?
Who knows? Who knows how it actually works? But I'm not sure if he's just being facetious or he genuinely believes it. There's part of me thinks he probably believes it. But the quality of darts he's been playing and how much excitement he's brought to the sport/game, it's just brilliant to watch. So a 17-year-old playing that well, winning the Premier League, beating the likes of Van Gerwen, Michael Smith, and Luke Humphreys, the World Championship champion, to win it.
Is the next Phil of the Power Taylor?
Well, I hope so, Adam. So this is what concerns me. Now, this is just because I'm getting older. But I'm like, if you're 17, so he won. I want to say it was over $250,000 for winning the Premier League. So you're a 17-year-old kid. You're given a check for $250,000 or 270,000, whatever it was. How do you keep your feet on the ground?
Well, that was my next question. Is he? Because I've seen a couple bits of footage, and it doesn't seems to have gone to his head a little bit.
Oh, it would though, wouldn't it? Like, it's impossible. Yeah. You've got 30,000 people in arenas, chanting your name. You're beating everybody, and you're getting given unbelievable amounts of money. Like, he's been playing FIFA with Wayne Rooney. He's gone 6 months ago. He was unknown to effectively being in the UK, a superstar that everybody wants to have on TV. And again, he's not trained. So you see these people who are kind of media trained and from a young age.
Let's take Mr. Hodgkiss back to, here we go, no time machine. Mr. Hodgkiss, 17-year-old Mr. Hodgkiss, no, 16-year-old Mr. Hodgkiss.
I was an idiot.
Master Hodgkiss, not even Mr. Hodgkiss, Master Hodgkiss, 16-year-old. Boom, you've got some dart skills.
Yeah.
Right? You've got the skills of Luke Littler. Boom. How are you reacting to this new skills you've got?
Not well. Not well at all.
You're winning the money.
Not well at all. So make it, when you're that age, you are not mature enough to make proper decisions. So you're relying on the people around you. Now, very lucky, I had good parents and stuff, so I would have had some good guidance. But if it was left up to me, I'd be doing all kinds of nonsense, spending on all kinds of things, having absolutely no idea about fiscal responsibility or how to manage money. And all of a sudden you can have anything you want. So you can eat where you want, you can go where you want, you can fly to places where you want. I'd handle it very badly. So I'm hoping he's got some good
I
advice.
can see in that bit, I think it was at Home Alone, where you just get that limo and you're out the top, the top of the roof of the limo, and you're just like chucking money around.
You just wouldn't know how to handle it. It feels so weird. But obviously as well, you've got to then keep performing. To keep winning, you've got to keep practicing and performing. So, it's tough. It's going to be hard on him. But I think darts is one of those things where the people are quite genuine and quite real. You've got the likes of, obviously, Barry Hearn runs it. He's no mug. He'll want to protect you. Like, he'll see Luke Littler as a bit of an asset, as a way to get better pay for all the other players. So he'll protect him.
He's getting a lot of stories, I'm going to say, because he's got his girlfriend. But there's a lot of stories and bad press he's getting about that, isn't there?
Yeah.
She's older and...
Yeah, but I mean, again, like...
I couldn't imagine social media when I was a kid, but he is a kid.
He's a kid.
Social media that he must be getting must be,
Yeah, it'd be awful. Hopefully they'll just ban him from that, but they'll be... That is the problem with human beings. There's going to be a lot of people out there who are trying to kind of monetize his name and will want to ruin him, not because they want to necessarily ruin him, but because they want to line their own pockets. So hopefully get good protection and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully the PDC and the Hearns who look after it will make sure that he has the best kind of support, the best advice, because we all want to see him play well. This whole thing with this country, so again, for American listeners, the UK like to do this thing where we build people up, and we love to build them up, but we love nothing more than tearing somebody down.
Oh, because then it makes the headlines.
Because then it makes the headlines. The press in this country are vile, Satan-worshipping arseholes. They are awful people. Not all of them, that's a very generalization, but a lot of the kind of tabloid media would piss on your granny if it made...
Remember, talking of grannies, remember Wayne Rooney? He was 16, 17, 18. He was scoring goals and he was like the England hero. And then all these stories about him and grannies was coming out.
Yeah, he had a dally.
That was before social media. That was just in the newspapers. But.
It's just awful that we just love to tear people down and embarrass people. And they won't. If you're in the public eye here, your private life is not private. You will get
first.
People go hunting for negative stuff. So let's hope Luke Littler is okay.
Quick first break. Sorry.
Okay, what you got this time?
I've got firsty. We've got a Aoraki, a Vocation Special Edition Aoraki double IPA, hazy, fruity, hoppy, and 8% again. Oh dear. Aoraki double IPA, shiny, silvery can with a mountain in the background. It's a hazy, fruity, hoppy. It's got Japanese on it again.
Bloody Japanese beers, Williams. Where are you buying these from?
And it says Mochiwaka, Raku, and Waiati. There we go. Reach dizzying heights at the peak of Aoraki with this fruity mix of fresh and juicy New Zealand hops.
Well, there you go.
Full to the brim with flavours of tropical and stone fruits and soft bitterness on the finish.
And are we thinking this is better than the last one?
Hopefully. Hopefully. I don't understand how these beers tend to get inspiration, they say, from like different things, but
it's basically
does it actually translate?
No, it's a Google search, Williams. They're just trying to do something different all the time.
It tastes exactly the same as the other one. So this mountain, whatever it's called, tropical stone fruits, the heights of the peak mountain Aoraki tastes the same as an arcade machine. So I don't know how that works.
Who knows, Williams? Maybe you've got COVID and everything just tastes and smells the same. Williams, I'm just going to nip out for a minute. I hope nobody comes. I'm going to nip out and.
You feeling all right?
I'm feeling like I'm actually like a bit of a dodgy tummy, but I'm going to nip out. But hang on, that's good timing. There's somebody else here.
Oh, who could it be? Who could it be? Who could it be? Hey, it's the Know-It-All Gnome.
Hello, Daniel. How are you today?
Oh, very good. Actually, I've got a question for you. Actually, I forgot to mention, a listener wrote in.
I wish you'd told me before, so I could have prepared an answer, but that's okay.
Well, yeah, but you know, Know-It-All Gnome. The listener said, would a wise old gnome prefer a picnic or chips for Father's Day? Asking for a very small friend.
Well, I would say a lot of the time, dads think they have to say the right answer, which is a picnic, but the honest answer is chips. But dads are honest with themselves, and I would recommend every father to be honest with themselves. A picnic sounds like a lovely idea, but also sounds like a lot of work. Buy the father a portion of chips. Let him have an hour of peace watching Doctor Who.
Chips.
Get him a can of beer, and that is probably genuinely the best present a father could have. The family time is lovely, but we have that every day. What we actually want is peace and quiet, some chips.
Not too many chips, though. Not too many chips.
No, not too many chips. Just a normal average portion with salt and vinegar and a chipotle mayonnaise sauce. And peace and quiet. That's generally the way to make a dad happy, and they will be grateful and appreciated forever. The picnic sounds like a lovely idea, but in reality a dad's just thinking, that's gonna be hard work and I just want a break.
Chips.
And
Chips is the winner.
Chips is the winner.
And did you have any other questions?
I have no questions today, but I thought while I have fun...
Well, you're a man of answers. You're a gnome of answers. It's not questions.
Yes, I just thought, I've been recently I've been hanging around with some friends, and I thought I'd come here and talk to you about my experience and impart some wisdom on your listeners.
Oh, lovely.
Okay, well, I'll tell you a little story then. So, just this Friday past...
Is Mr. Hodgkiss... Where's he gone?
He had a dodgy tummy. Too many chips.
He's
probably... I'd imagine we've got at least 4.5 minutes until he comes back. So, on Friday, I was in the local ale house, a lovely local establishment with a couple of chums.
Lovely.
And as we sipped on our mead, the conversation led us down a road.
Mead, I like a bit of mead.
Oh, it was lovely mead. Two of my companions started to recall some rather tough events in their lives. Listening to them talk, it was clear how these events have helped shape them into the people they are today. Now, as a wise old gnome, I realise that we all have moments in our life where we are challenged, or we question the things around us. The way we navigate these tricky waters is individual to us. But I noticed in both of my friends, they had shown incredible resilience to get through, much like something I overheard you and Craig talking about earlier. Resilience, turning a bad opportunity, like breaking down, into a positive thing, where you go into a field and spend some time with your wife and your child. So today I want to talk to our lovely listeners, many of whom are going through their own challenges, about resilience. Resilience, Dan, is more than just bouncing back from tough times. It's about facing challenges head-on and emerging stronger than before. Think of the mighty oak tree, weathering the storms and standing tall. That is resilience in action. But resilience isn't just for trees, Dan. It's quality we can all cultivate. In history, people like Rosa Parks or Viktor Frankl teach us that resilience isn't about avoiding adversity, but about embracing it as an opportunity for growth. So, how can we build resilience in our own lives? Remember, it's not about being invincible. None of us can avoid trials and tribulations of life forever.
You sound like Winston Churchill.
It is about coping with the stresses and adversities that come your way. So here are some tips from my alehouse chums, and you and I might want to try if you're going through tough times right now. These are all from the pub on Friday. Talk with your friends. Pub tips from the Know-It-All Gnome. Talk with your friends. A supportive and caring ear can make all the difference. Celebrate the little wins, Dan. Acknowledge your achievements, no matter how big or small. Express your emotions, especially you men. Allow yourself to feel. It'll do you good.
Very true.
And when it's tough, seek out the help of specialists. There are people out there who can guide you through even the toughest times. If you're going through something hard right now, we send you our love. Remember, you've always got friends here at First Look Gnomes. The resilience my friends who I spoke to the other day inspired me to talk about this today. And if anybody out there needs some help, reach out to somebody. It's always there. Be resilient. Keep going forward.
Don't reach out to the First Look Gnomes. Reach out to other...
Can you not go on their website and...
Can you go on the website?
I don't know. Has he finished it yet?
You don't know? No.
Well, he said he was going to finish it about 6 months ago. Has he not done that yet?
No, he hasn't. I don't think so. I've not checked, actually.
Well, I'm going to go downstairs now. I'm going to knock on the door and see if he's finished his poo.
Yes, please do.
Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you, no. Inspirational as always.
Hello.
Hello. You all right, mate?
I was there. I was doing a poo, and he just knocked, banging the door. Banging the door, he was.
Oh.
I was like, bloody hell.
There's nothing worse, is there, when you're trying to have a poo
and just this bloody gnome is knocking the door, but you know.
You need to relax, don't you?
Well, hopefully he didn't just wait.
He did, but he did mention the website.
I've not finished the website yet. I mean, you probably have to start doing it to finish it, I guess. But you know, one day. Before the end of season 2, which probably might not actually happen because season 2 is probably coming to an end soon. We're in May, so
we're over halfway at least.
Okie dokie. It'll happen at some point. There was a cliffhanger last time, actually. This is one of the reasons I don't know. It was last time. It was like
was it?
It was last one of the one before. We talked about did I get a house?
Did we?
I think the cliffhanger was we put a bid in on a house. And wasn't it
a cliffhanger? But yes. So have we got a first look at a house coming up?
We think we have a first look at a house coming up. Yeah, assuming it all goes through okay.
Hey.
Well, that's something to look forward to, Williams.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
So we'll be for season 3. I may be in a new location. It's the third. It'll be the third location
before season 3. I hope.
Unbelievable.
Before season 3, I would hope.
Well, you just never know, do you? You never know. But
you never know.
People all cross listeners that it all goes.
What's coming up for the next month? What we've got first looks at?
So Euros. The big one is Euros. We should probably do a Euro special where we just talk about
Euro special.
I think so. So it starts in.
Has the squad been selected yet?
Well, I mean, we literally did roulette where one of the options was the England squad. That was an option to talk about the England squad selection. So yes, they have named the provisional 30, and they have to cut it down to 26. Roughly, I think it's either 33 down to 28 or something like that. But yes, the England squad is out. The Scotland squad is out, and the tournament itself starts in less than 3 weeks in Germany. So that's going to be good. And as the Know-It-All Gnome said in the last episode, it is coming home. So
it's coming home.
Let's hope. So we've got that.
He knows it all. He knows it all. So
he does know it all.
If we don't take it home, I'll have doubts that he does.
I tell you, if Gareth Southgate needs some tips, the Know-It-All Gnome is who we should speak to. But you know,
well, no. If he wants tips, it's tips for dads.
Oh, tips for dads too. Yeah, tips for dads. Do you play Foden, Kane, Bellingham, or do you? How do you organise that front quartet?
You get Haaland.
He's not English though, mate. We can't do that.
Well, no, he is. He is, apparently.
Don't be daft. He can't play. He's played for Norway, doesn't he?
No, but he could have not. So is Haaland English? Is Haaland English? He was born in England.
Unbelievable.
There you go. He was born in England.
I wonder. I'm sure if he was, we've probably inquired. To be honest, I'd rather kind of have Virgil van Dijk be English. But anyway, we should do a special about this one where we talk about football.
A special?
A Euro special. But I think as for now...
So tune in next month. Write into firstlookgnomes@outlook.com.
If you need any help from the Know-It-All Gnome, send in your request. If you've got any tips for that,
send us a voicemail. Send us a voice note. Yeah. You can do that by email. You don't need to send a to our phones that we don't give out our numbers to. Send us a nice little voice note to firstitgnomes@outlook.com.
If you've got any tips for dads, share them. We will share them.
If you've got tips, share your tips. Share us your tips.
Yeah, your tips out for the dads.
So yeah, share us your tips. Ask any questions.
And we'll see you next week or next month.
And we'll not see you next month.
You'll hear us.
Hear us next month. Oh dear, this is getting bad.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Please subscribe, leave a 5-star review, follow, like, and share this podcast to show your support for more episodes. Help grow the show.